Hey everybody, welcome to this little quick video, if you will. We're going to talk about two areas that typically cause speed bumps in designing a training program, if you will. The first is the needs assessment, and the second is objectives. And this is going to be a quick high-level lecture, if you will. I hate to use the term lecture, but that's essentially what it is. So with that in mind, let's get started. I need to advance my slides. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. So, needs assessment. Quite simply, the needs assessment is that process by which you are looking at the current state and your desired state and measuring the gap in there. Now, this is not a numerical measurement per se. It can be if you were looking at call times or customer service representatives in the time it took them to answer a call, or if it was an EMS organization looking at response times, or perhaps you're looking at assembly times. It could be something along those lines, but it doesn't have to be a numerical difference, if you will. It could be an effective issue where we want to improve the friendliness of our customer service agents or something along those lines. Essentially what you're doing is you're taking that current state and desired state and measuring the difference between the two, or looking to see where that is. Now you can hear gap analysis and needs needs assessment. They're all the same thing. Asana is a company, and I just found this by a Google search. I'm not endorsing the company, but they've talked about the steps. Number one is identify your team's needs. So that we're getting back to that gap analysis a little bit. Now, to me, that should actually be kind of the end of the step, because we really need to do number three, collect internal information. Kind of helps us define what our current state is and where our desired state is. Number four, there could be some needs for external information that we need to gather. We might need to get feedback. That could be a focus group or a survey, or just visiting with our customers, our fellow employees, trying to discern what that information might entail. Use our data to help identify the needs or the gap analysis, if you will. That's my perspective. Each company may do it a little bit differently, I guess. So, once we've got our needs assessment done, we start looking at how we're going to create our training program. And one of the things we look at is goals versus objectives. Goals are high level. We want to improve the customer's experience in dealing with our customer service representatives. That could be that goal that we want to achieve. It could be that we want to reduce material defects during the assembly process, or things like that. Those are goals. They're kind of high level, not really well defined. We start to distill that down through the objective, and the objective is written using the 4 items that you see here. So audience is, in this particular case, you, the student. The behavior would be based on Bloom's taxonomy if we're doing cognitive learning, and you can see that the bottom, like remembering, understanding, is lower level thinking and very broad based, but you have to have that to move up into the higher level. And yes, this is very similar to Maslow's hierarchy, if you're familiar with Maslow's. Today we're going to use kind of a simple one. We're going to do understanding. So my audience would be the student. The behavior will be have an understanding, or maybe even we can move that up and say the student will demonstrate application of writing an objective for the course. Now, the condition we're not going to do, because this is a straightforward me presenting to you, but if we were doing a condition, it might be by meeting the items on a checklist. It may be a written score exam, such as 70% or things like that. And then the degree is more of that benchmark, if you will. I'm sorry. The condition is under what conditions. So, using our customer service representative during a simulated customer service interaction, the customer service rep will demonstrate satisfactory resolution skills by addressing the checklist or however that might be. So essentially, audience behavior condition degree. So who, what are they doing, what's the conditions, and to what degree, or what's our benchmark. So when we talk about taxonomies, and I spoke to Bloom's just a little bit, Bloom's is a very, it's been around for ages, but he does the cognitive. There's also an affective taxonomy. So each of your university courses are going to affect your affective, which is your thoughts, behaviors, things of that nature a little bit. So hopefully this course will help you understand the importance of training and development as part of your HR profession. And then lastly is psychomotor. And we're not going to do a whole lot of psychomotor here, but papers could fall into that, or perhaps when you're doing some of the assignments, those could be psychomotor, but really they're more hands-on and things of that nature. So again, very high level. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, reach out to me. I enjoy visiting with folks about this, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. With that, have a great day, everyone.